We're looking to set up for a water maker, and I need to do some work on this locker here. This is where the old chain plate was leaking before we did it, and then we never, I mean, Jenny went through and like bilge coated and painted everything. But I want to get a coat of paint in here, and we've used this Durapoxy. We got like a gallon of this 10 years ago when we got the boat, and we were doing the lockers and stuff with it as needed, kind of where we keep clothing. And this stuff is really tough. It's durable. I'm going to do some cleaning with the trisodium phosphate substitute. Obviously, you can't get anything high in phosphates in California either, so this is a substitute. And then I want to put the remote control panel for the water maker over on this side here. I'll probably have to make a little teak trim piece, cut a couple of pieces of trim. In here we've got our electroscan unit. This is our marine sanitation device right here. And for the time being, normally it runs off of salt water, so all it does is the toilet pulls in salt water as it's flush, and then the electroscan turns that into hydrochloric acid. Exactly. It takes chlorine. It takes the chlorine molecule out of sodium chloride. We're in freshwater, so we put rock salt, like water softener salt, in the bucket. The toilet pump sucks water. It mixes a small amount of salt water with the freshwater toilet flush to make this thing work. Well, the control panel's only this deep.
Right.
But I also have a bunch of water filters. I'd like to put the boost pumps at this end, because there's a 12-volt DC pump, and then there's also an AC pump, the primary pump, and then there's a booster pump. With the water maker comes an unattended automatic flushing thing. It's got a time clock in it, basically a solid-state time clock that whatever you program it to, every 5 days, 7 days, whatever, it'll automatically back flush the RO membrane with fresh water from the tanks.
I guess let's get scrubbing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Are you now? So we got the parts for our water maker. Well, we're gonna open it up and see what all is in everything.
There's like 5 boxes here, right?
Yeah. These are like filter housings and hoses. A couple of high pressure hoses that go from the pressure vessel, the RO membrane. These are the pre-filter housings and everything.
Oh, okay.
Canister filters. Yeah, that's the control panel and the DC pump assembly. And it's even got a little fan motor on it. It's basically a Jabsco, 5 gallon per hour. I think this is what it looks like. We got the control panel with the built-in TDS meter.
That's big. Is that going to fit in that little spot?
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of teak trim. And it's got a little time clock. It's an automatic flush system. This is the built-in TDS meter, so this will automatically shut down the pump if total dissolved solids get above a preset. Holy F.
Broken? Ah. So we're missing a piece anyway.
Yeah, the automatic flush thing. Yeah, it comes with
more stuff to store.
Pump oil. Oh, this is the pickling solution. So these filters can actually be flushed out and washed. So our boat has a little bit of a slight list to it because I've got all my tools on this side of the boat. This is what's going to correct that list.
Yeah.
This is 1 horse, 60 hertz, 120 volt pump.
How many gallons an hour are we going to make with this?
30 gallons an hour.
30. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this thing weighs like, God, at least 30 pounds. These are the RO membranes. So we got the dual membranes set up. There's a little cross connection depending on which way you want it to go. If you want it to flow in and out, there's different ways in the manual to plumb it. Nice. They come with fiberglass unistrut with these clamp brackets. And that way you can glass these things directly to the hull. I'll have to get things opened up, taken apart, figure out where we'll put everything and stash it, and where to install it. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of brainstorming on where we're going to put this damn thing. And there's a couple of factors involved. Obviously, this thing doesn't get serviced very often, but you still need to have it in a location where you can get to it. We were thinking originally back here. That was going to require a lot of cabinet modification, and it gets very skinny back here. Glassing it to the hull, I'm still weighing these options, but I'm thinking about actually suspending it underneath these cross braces here, which gives us room for the canister filters. There's a couple of pre-filters. I don't even know where the other one is.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, the doubles. So these are the doubles for the seawater strainer, basically. And then these, I'll have room for these here because I didn't want to put these up here because of the or above a shelf where we've got things we don't want to get wet, because you invariably spill water every time you change these filters. So they are a maintenance item. So at least here, this area here can drain into the bilge right below us. The jury's still out on this. As far as mounting it against the hull, there's a warp and a twist to the hull, so there would be some glass work to have to deal with. So it could mount right here, probably not as much get in the way, and I could actually move these things forward a little bit. Originally I had wanted to use this locker back here, but that's really limited. It's even more limited access. Plus this big pump really kind of surprised me when I unboxed it. It's a lot larger than I thought it was, so, and heavier. God, it's been like a year and a half now. We got this thing and we've just been dancing around getting it installed, and now it's finally time to do that. So we got the Seamaker 30 from Cruise RO. It's got a big 110 volt high pressure pump, and then it's got a 12 volt boost pump that feeds the high pressure pump. It's got the dual RO membranes, and we've been going around and around about where to put this thing, and now I'm just kind of getting the pump mounted and all that. Marking out the footprint on this thing and see if I can get some holes drilled for some anchor studs. This thing is like virtually impossible to access with conventional hardware, so I had to get like these, they're threaded on one side and lags on the other, and then they'll stick up about that far, and hopefully I can nut and washer them. So I built this wood platform for this pump to sit on, and it's all glued and screwed. Hopefully I didn't drill all the way through the outside of the boat. Put a hole in it. There's a couple of spots where it hit the fiberglass because I felt it lift the plywood up a little bit, so I had to back out, move the holes, and reposition it. Getting all these canister filters in, you know, there's a dual canister, 10 micron and a 5 micron pre-filter, and then this canister is for the pressurized water system to back flush it with fresh water. So we got this timer box that every 4 days it back flushes it for 8 minutes and keeps the membrane fresh.
How much water does that use?
I don't know. I've been working on this thing for 2 days, and this is as far as I've gone. Okay, what's the plan?
I think I need to wipe it down just real quickly with at least water.
Okay.
Maybe some simple green. Pump that we're installing, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty noisy. We're going to try to put a little bit of sound deadening in here. It's not going to be perfect. There's probably going to be gaps, but it's better than nothing is kind of what we're thinking. So we got some just automotive, it's like a butyl based, just some sound deadening stuff. So anyway, we're going to kind of line some of this area. We cannot do all of it. I mean, it's going to be what it is because this is open down here and we're not going to get all the way back in there. We might do the underneath too on parts of it, but you just basically stick it on and roll it on and then you're done.
Finishing up the last little bits and pieces of this experiment in sound deadening. See, we don't even know if this pump is noisy. We're just assuming that it is.
Well, it's for vibration too.
Well, it can't hurt.
I don't know. Are you just making a big tunnel and all the noise is going to go shooting out that way?
Probably.
Like an amp?
Yeah, seriously. The subwoofer. So we got pump mounting to these ribs here.
Oh, it goes on both of them? Do you need a little tiny strip down there?
Where? Just had to do some trimming on the floorboard here. This is the brace for to get this 90 into the seacock we installed back when we hauled out, and get this thing bracketed up. They didn't give me a freaking bracket when I ordered this sea strainer. I'm going to do something here with hose clamps just to clamp it in place around this piece of metal strapping. So that'll hold it something like that. And then just a little foam tape to give it a little buffer. Just putting on some Teflon tape and some pipe dope to seal the connection from the bronze elbow to the through-hole fitting. These Graco tri-flange through-hole fittings are nice because nothing spins. Once you get them locked down, they got their three bolts into the backing plate. Just turn it away. We put sound deadening in the settee here, just for dampening pump noises and stuff. I'm anticipating that this It's like a 1 horse or a 1.5 horse pump. The high pressure pump is going to be of a significant noise level. Plus the 12 volt boost pump. Plus the shower pump and electroscan also. So Jenny went through and also did the lids. Plus with cushions on top, you know, at the settee, I think it should pretty much tone it down a little bit. Obviously, we didn't cover every single surface. This is not something that... Well, it's just like with the engine compartment. You know, I'm sure somebody's going to leave something in the comment section about you're not doing it right or whatever. And hopefully this is better than nothing. Now I'm just mounting the filters. And as it turns out, you got just enough room to screw this canister filter off to exchange the cartridges.
Although we didn't try it after we put this stuff in.
Yeah, that's right. We put this sound deadening insulation in, which is like a 1/16 of an inch thick. All right, so when the canister filters, I gotta change them. Just fits. Actually fits pretty good. So, excuse me, so start. Yeah, shit, lunch is coming back up on me.
I was just joking about that white part, you dum-dum. How old is that pipe dope?
It's pretty old. The lid, it used to, that brush used to.
Yeah, I know. So get a freaking new one. What is it, like $100 a bottle or something?